So, okay. All right, Shalom, Israel, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I would like to give all praise, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, whose taught us this 100% truth. Shalom to the hopefully elect. Shalom to the Aki and push his truth and sincerity. Shalom to the sincere Aqua and be out there watching and learning. It's a brother call from the GMS Columbus, Ohio branch. Coming at you again with another lesson through the Spirit. And this is going to be a quick one. I just finished reading through Judges. And this account in the 16th chapter, it's caught my eye. Just dealing with women specifically. In this case, the Philistines were trying to kill Samson. Okay? Because Samson, did a number. Was doing a number on the Philistines, and his dad. And they were trying to get Samson out the way. So one thing they did do, let me cut this on. But one thing they did do was they sent out a woman, okay, to figure out his power, where he's getting his strength from. Because, Samson, he was a Nazarite. He had long hair. He grew his hair out, from the womb. He had the locks. Okay. And in that, like I was going into, they sent out a woman to figure out where he get his power from, and that caught my eye because, see, a lot of men throughout history have fallen behind a woman. All right, putting your trust in your woman, putting your trust in a woman, trying to be pleasing to a woman, whatever the case may be, men have lost a lot behind their woman. Hey, real quick, before I get this account, I'll just get this, just a quick one, real quick. Yep, Proverbs 13:3. Give not thy strength unto woman, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. You see, and I just wanted to get that real quick. It's a classic, I haven't bring it out in a while, but it's very, very, very important. It's very, very detrimental. All right, let's see. In the NLT. Yeah, that's cool. Proverbs 31:3 in the NLT says, do not waste your strength on women, on those who ruin kings. You see, and our apostles and elders on down, they tell us, about dealing with women, how deceiving they can be, and you see that heavily in the media, these days. Women run the game in a way these days, and as a man, as men, we have to wake up and understand that these women are deceivers. All right. They're liars. They're conniving, and they will do anything to put themselves ahead. All right. So, understanding that we have to move careful. Okay, but let me get this account real quick. So I'll start at verse 4. Judges 16, verse 4. And it came to pass afterward that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. And the lords of the Philistines came up unto her and said unto her, entice him. See? Entice. Let's get that word real quick. Salaki, real quick.
Strong's H 6601. Patha.
See, so jumping down, I'm going to get this second definition because it goes right in what I'm speaking about. It says to be simple, entice, to deceive, persuade. You see? Because, Look at a couple of these in the Strongs. Entice, deceive, persuade, flatter, allure. You see? So, a lot of women, are able to do those things, man. You know, we hear about it all the time how women set up certain men. You think you about to kick it with the shorty. She about to give you some box. You know what I'm saying? You're about to have a good time, but whole time it's a setup. Whole time she's getting something out of you, whether she's stealing from you personally, whether she got some dudes that's gonna run up on you and steal from you. You see? Whether she's trying to gather information to expose you. Okay? Anything, man. And that's why it's important that we be careful dealing with women. All right? A lot of things shouldn't even be spoken about with your woman, however you deal with her, if you have one. All right? I believe it was Paul that said that. It's better when you have no wife, roughly paraphrasing. You see? Because, while it's all cool and it's cute and it's nice to have a woman, we all love the comfort and the wholesome feeling of a woman. But, especially in this world we live in today, man, these women are so deceiving, all right? And they will do anything to mess over you, man, okay? Women are so slick. They will play for years and years and years like they like you, like they love you, like they dealing with you. Okay, but whole time in the back of their mind, they're doing it for their own personal gain. These women out here, they getting married to men. All right. They marrying old men because they know they're going to die. They get all close to him, getting his will. All right. So they can get an inheritance. All right. These women are marrying certain men. All right. And taking all of their hard-earned money and everything, taking their homes, their vehicles. All right. What's it called? Alimony. Shit like that, man. So you got to be aware with these women, man. Be very, very careful. All right. But finishing out this account, it says, I'll start back at 5. It says, and the lords of the Philistines came up unto her and said unto her, entice him and see wherein his great strength lieth, and by what means we may prevail against him, that we may bind him to afflict him, and we will give thee every one of us 11 pieces of silver. See? So, you go handle that business for us. We're gonna get you together. And sure enough, verse 6, and Delilah said to Samson, tell me, I pray thee, wherein thy great strength lieth, and where would thou mightest be bound to afflict thee? See? And he gave up the secret, all right? Or, what visibly is where his strength comes from, because ultimately it's from the Heavenly Father, all right? But, of course, with him being a Nazarite and having the long hair, I believe that's where, in the world where certain people say, strength is in their hair. I've heard that a lot in the world, but that's besides the point. But in verse 7, it says, and Samson said unto her, if they bind me with 7 green withs that were never dried, then shall I be weak and be as another man. You see? Then the lords of the Philistines brought her up to 7 green withs, which had not been dried, and she bound him with them. Now there were men lying in wait, abiding with her in the chamber. And she said unto him, the Philistines be unto thee, Samson. And he brake the withs as a thread to tow is broken when it touched the fire, so his strength was not known. And Delilah said unto Samson, behold, thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Now tell me, I pray thee, wherewith thou mightest be bound. And he said unto her, if they bind me fast with new ropes and never were occupied, then shall I be weak and be as another man. Delilah therefore took new ropes and bound him therewith, and said unto him, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And there were liars in wait abiding in the chamber, and he brake them from off his arms like a thread. See, so they're trying to get him. Verse 13 says, Delilah said unto Samson, hitherto thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Tell me wherewith thou mightest bound. And he said unto her, if thou weavest the 7 locks of my head with the web, and she fastened it with the pin, and said unto him, the Philistines be upon thee. And he awaked out of sleep and went away with the pen and the beam and with the web. And she said unto him, How canst thou say, I love thee? Then thine heart is not with me. Thou hast mocked me these 3 times and hast not told me wherein thy great strength lieth. And it came to pass when she pressed him daily with her words and urged him, so that his soul was vexed unto death, that he told her all his heart and said unto her, There have not come a razor upon my head, for I have been a Nazarite unto the Most High from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and shall become weak and be like any other man. See, so like I said, man, these women will dig and dig and dig and dig and do whatever they got to do to get what they want. Do whatever. You see, he tried to dodge her a few times, but the more she kept digging, he folded, man. And that's a lesson for us all, man. We can't fold when it comes to these women, man. Yes, women are beautiful. They look good. They feel good. All these things, man. But they ain't no good, man. For a lot of men, women are not expedient for us at this moment. I know I'm one of them, And at the end of the day, man, we got to be together ourselves, man. And then, see, it's the thing. Like, even when you get yourself together, it's like, that's when the worst of it hit, because now you got something. Now there's something for a woman to take from you. Women have all the power in this day and age, man. Even more than then. So how much more now, man? The women have grown so far in power in this day and age. You see. So we got to be very careful, man. This world is catered to these women. That's why women are able to get, government assistance far more than men do. All right. They're able to obtain a lot of things in this kingdom, man. Even when it comes to the system, man, a woman can make up lies on you and get you put in jail or whatever. All right. And nobody could tell them otherwise, man. So we got to be careful. So I'm going to get this. Sirach 25 and verse 19. It says, All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. See, let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. You see, so all wickedness is little but to a woman, right? Because these women, like I said, they're so deceiving. They're so conniving, man. They're so... Women are just fried, man. And one thing about women, they don't care. A lot of these women are heartless as hell, man. And it's funny, because how I be seeing some memes on online or whatever. When it comes to dealing with women, how they tell you want to go holler at a girl, and they be like, the worst you can say is no. Then you see videos of dudes trying to holler at women. Then the shorty done clowned them out bad, Got down on his whole fit, tell him how ugly he is. Like, damn. I thought the worst she could say was no. Nah, shorty will clown you out even if you try to talk to her, man. So, it's just, this place is just backwards, man. And the main point, we should be careful with these women, man. Get one more. Yep. Is that the same chapter? Yep, that's just weird. I'm tripping. Psalm 25, verse 24. It says, log it. I'll get to the point because I'll go off on a whole nother tangent. But Sirach 25, verse 24 says, Of the woman came to the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. See? You reference Eve, in the garden, how she was deceived. All right. Through her, we all, we all die, man. Women is the beginning of the sin, man. So you just got to be careful, man. Real talk, you got to be careful. You got to move. That's what I'll end off on. Lord willing. Because these are times we're living in. First Peter 5:8, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking who we may devour. See, and the point I wanted that, be sober, be vigilant. You got to move very careful in general, all right? Especially with these women, though. The times we coming into, Esau is going to be using these women a lot more against us, all right? Because as we know, through prophecy, these benefits and all these things are about to be getting cut off, all right? These women ain't going to be getting that assistance. These people are going to be out here taking that chip, taking MOTB, all right? So that way they can feed their families, all right? And if they can get a leg up and get a piece of the profits, trust and believe that there are going to be people waiting in line to set us up, all right, and get us persecuted, all right? Even your own woman, your daughters, your mothers, your cousins, aunties, even the men, man. Them the times we living in, man. So we got to really be careful and understand, the times we coming into, man. It's important, It ain't worth losing it all over a woman. There are men out here that lost the Lord behind the woman. All right? Lost everything behind the woman, man. You got to be willing to let go. All right? No matter how good she look, how beautiful she is, how nice she is. Hey, man, be careful. All right? Because even the good ones will do you bad. See? But that's it. Give all praise, all honor, and glory again unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. But willing it was edifying. Don't say Shalom in the Bible ball.